My name is Bobby Iggy, CEFIO of Disney Animated Company Picture Studios Incorporated Corporation. Here at Disney Animated Company Studios Incorporated Corporation, we strive for many things, including money, merchandise we can sell for money, TV shows to make money, amusement parks for you to spend money on, and buying various multimedia corporations that will inevitably earn us money. Oh, and quality films. We want that too. But the one thing that we have always strived for is racial inequality. Equality. Silly me. From our humble beginnings as a couple of white dudes with a pencil and a camera, racial equality was always our top priority. Or it would have been, but there wasn't a lot of diversity to go off of back then. I mean, there were like 2 black people in America at the time. Huh, who would have thought? But I mean, like, everyone was racist back then, so it was okay.
Starting off, we were so racially inclusive that we made our cartoons black and white. Pretty impressive, huh? Now, these cartoons were animals, so we didn't really include any actual black people.
But as time went on, we here in America discovered a new exotic land called Africa.
Now, these people were so fascinating, we decided to include them in our beloved Mickey Mouse shorts. Now, according to our sources, these so-called Africans are all savages with enormous lips and no sense of civilized life. Fascinating. So we tried to accurately portray that. These savages, not knowing how to behave properly, as most Africans do, were so uncivilized as to boil and eat Mickey. Truly awful stuff, but fascinating. Just look at those idiots go.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to say that these definitely weren't supposed to be Africans. Now, at the time of making these cartoons, we had forgotten that there were actually non-white people living in America at the time. Who would have thought? We figured out that black people, actually existed.
Around the time we made Dumbo.
Aww.
That's exactly what we were thinking. I mean, who doesn't love Dumbo?
Aww.
You know what we love even more? The black people we were nice enough to put in our movie. We here at Disney love black people. I myself am proud to say that I have one black friend. His name is Darius. Tyrone. Or something. I don't remember, but that's irrelevant. As many of you know, and as I know with Darius and Tyrone, that, black people aren't very bright. Now, you see, we couldn't portray them doing intelligent things, because that just wouldn't be realistic. We here are all about realism in movies about flying elephants.
Aww.
Some might say that we were stereotypical or offensive in our portrayal of African Americans, but of course if you look at it expecting it to be racist, it's going to be racist.
We work all day, we work all night, we never learn to read or write.
What? They're uneducated.
We save until we're almost dead.
We're not saying that they're slaves necessarily.
Grab that rope, Harry!
Look, they're apes in the circus. It's not necessarily racist. Look, more cute Dumbo!
Aww.
Now, as much as we care about racism, we care more about money. So we decided not to include any non-white people in our feature films for the next
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movies and 12 years.
We would have, but, money. Brown kids don't make a lot of money. But you know who does?
Redskins. I mean, red kids. I mean, Indians.
Red Indians. I mean, Native Americans. Which is why we included them in everyone's favorite film, Peter Pan.
Now, before you get all riled up because we portrayed them as bumbling, yelling idiots with broken speech and no visible sense of etiquette, it's not racist.
The whole point of the movie is to
Portray children's imaginations and how they see the world.
And as everyone knows, children are born with an innate sense of hatred and superiority towards anyone who's not white. I'm not being racist, it's a fact of life. I mean, it has a certain basis of fact. I mean, Indians are just
Around the late 20th century saw the era known as the Disney Renaissance.
Along with the Renaissance came a huge increase in diversity. Probably because we realized that non-white kids were actually watching our movies. Who would have thought? This diversity ranged from
White people to characters that live in Africa but sound like white people,
Yuck!
to vaguely brown people, to more white people.
The Renaissance also saw the establishment of the lovely,
Disney princess franchise.
and we were sure to include diversity for these lovely ladies as well.
We had one Arab princess, a white princess, one black princess, another white princess, one Chinese princess, another white princess, one Native American princess, another white princess, some more white princesses, another white princess, and a Hispanic princess.
My favorite of these are the delectable,
Jasmine and Pocahontas.
both of whom have just the loveliest outfits. Jasmine, for those of you who don't know, is the romantic interest too. Yes, the romantic interest. What did I say? What are their character qualities? How was that relevant? This movie was diverse enough to include.
People who were sort of kind of Arab.
I mean, after all that those Muslims had done to us, we were kind enough to include them in our children's movies.
Now, we obviously weren't going to lie to our children and say those camel-riding towel heads were any nicer than reality.
Except for Aladdin and Jasmine, of course, but we like to pretend that they're not actually Arab. That's why we made them, you know. Not necessarily white, but they just sound like they're white people.
Riff-raff, street rat.
Which may or may not have something to do with the fact that we had absolutely no Arab people in our cast.
My favorite part of that whole movie is the Arabic merchant. That guy just cracks me up. You know, with Robin Williams doing a totally not offensive Arabic accent.
Salam and good evening to you, worthy friend.
You may be wondering about a few of those lines.
Where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face. It's barbaric.
But don't worry, we did research. They do in fact cut off your ear if they don't like your face. Those Arabs are just total barbarians. I mean, they sell off their women just like the Sultan did with Jasmine. True story, we did research. We also researched traditional Arab clothing for women. Now, be warned, these people are very oppressive, so what you're about to see may be pretty terrifying. My God, I could barely stand to look at it. So, after looking at all of these pictures, we decided on the perfect outfit for Jasmine. Alright, maybe we didn't research much, or anything, but we did some fine work there. Some real fine work. You know who else is a really fine piece of work?
Pocahontas, everyone's favorite movie, starring a Native American girl who's grown up all her life learning the ways of her people. And along come some Europeans who want to steal everything. Now, we made it explicitly clear that these Europeans are the evil ones, which is why Pocahontas promptly leaves everything she knows and loves to be with one of them. Pocahontas isn't like those other Native Americans. Those other guys are all worried about the scary white man coming to kill them, but Pocahontas doesn't care about that. She just rolls around in flowers and jumps through the wind, colors, or whatever. I don't want to call them savages, but since Pocahontas behaves more like a woman should, she's just more civilized than them.
Now, what you may not have known is that Pocahontas is based off of a real-life figure. And may I add, with a nice figure.
Now, we may have forgotten to mention that Pocahontas was actually captured at the age of 17 and forced to convert to Christianity, but that doesn't make for a good of a story. We also may have forgot to mention the decades of genocide and persecution incoming Europeans placed upon the Native Americans already living on the land.
But, it's not like these kids have to actually understand this stuff. I mean, it's not that important. We're made with movies, it's not like that. It's not, okay, we tripped up here and there, but we're not perfect. So, this was back in the time when everyone was racist. It was back in the 1990s, whatever. But seriously, we're not perfect. And, we can't just pick here and choose there for stuff that's not racist. We're an animation company, okay? We just have to do our job. Here, Ethan, back me up.
Yes, sir.
I'm right?
Of course, sir.
Now, if you look at the next decade or so of movies, you can see that we have total bunches of colored people in those.
In 2000, we had Cusco and Emperor's New Groove, everyone's favorite movie.
Yes, sir, but he was a llama for most of the movie, so we never actually got to see the color.
Fine.
How about Brother Bear, everyone's favorite movie?
In which a young brown boy turns into a bear at the beginning of the movie and stays that way throughout the duration.
Princess and the Frog, everyone's favorite black princess.
Who
turns into a frog and therefore isn't black for most of the movie. Yeah, okay.
almost like there's a pattern there, wouldn't you say, sir?
Shut up. But these next two films are everyone's favorite. How about Meet the Robinsons?
About a white family?
Bolt?
Mostly about animals, but all the people are white.
Tangled?
White.
Wreck-It Ralph?
White.
Frozen?
White.
Pixar movies.
Woody was white, Buzz was white, Andy was white, Merida was white, the dentist in Finding Nemo was white, Linguini was white, Lightning McQueen sounded really white, the Incredibles were white, the fat people in WALL-E were white, Mr. Fredricksen was white, and the family in the upcoming film Inside Out is also white.
How about Disney Channel? It has some diversity, right? It's for kids.
You mean the channel with Indian characters that all sound like this?
But to be a great success in life, you have to make the grade.
I wanted to play my sitar in the school band, but Mr. Collinsworth would not even let me audition.
Jeez.
Guess you should rethink some things, sir.
Get out of my face.
Yes, sir.
I guess
Big Hero 6 makes all of you super happy, since it's so diverse.
Yup.
But isn't that itself racist? I mean, purposefully having non-white people in a movie so that it's culturally diverse, isn't that like reverse racism?
No.
Shut up! I mean, not having white people in a movie, that's like not realistic. I mean, like, let's take Frozen for example. It's set in a European country. Having brown people in that just wouldn't make sense, would it? In a movie with talking snowmen and magical snow powers and rock trolls. Okay, fine. So what if we're not culturally diverse or accurate or considerate or whatever else you people demand that we do? We make good movies. I mean, who cares if they're not diverse or whatever? They're good movies. Who cares? Who cares?
Hey, Rathma, what color are princesses?
White.
So can you be a princess?
No.
I wonder what would happen if you say what you